The Philadelphia Eagles are on the hunt for a game-changing pass rusher as they navigate the complexities of roster building in pursuit of another Super Bowl. While the Eagles' current pass rushing group features some promising talent, including the breakout star Jalix Hunt and the reliable Nolan Smith, there's a palpable sense that more firepower is necessary. The addition of depth with players like Arnold Ebiketie and Joe Taranchorinka is commendable, but losing Jaelan Phillips in free agency has thrown a wrench into their plans. This void in the pass rush is a significant concern that the Eagles can't afford to overlook if they are serious about contending this season. Acquiring a first-round rookie pass rusher might sound appealing, but the reality is that such players often require time to develop before they can make a meaningful impact on a defense. The Eagles need an immediate contributor, someone who can step in and elevate the pressure on opposing quarterbacks, much like Phillips did last season. This urgency is underscored by the fact that there are still premium pass rushers available via trade, and the Eagles must capitalize on this opportunity. One name that has been consistently linked with the Eagles is Greenid from the Minnesota Vikings. He's a player who could provide significant value given his contract situation, an extension that has him owed $18.39 million this season next, but with just $4 million guaranteed. This kind of financial flexibility fits neatly into the Eagles' Super Bowl window. Last season, Greenid showcased an impressive pressure rate of 18.1%, racking up 47 pressures and 12 QB hits, though he only managed 3 sacks. However, it's essential to look beyond just those numbers. Prior to last season, he had accumulated 24.5 sacks and 122 pressures over the previous 2 years with the Vikings and the Houston Texans. Yet, while Greenid could be a solid addition, there's another name that could take the Eagles' defense to elite status: Maxx Crosby. Although the deal to send Crosby to the Baltimore Ravens fell through, it doesn't mean he's off the table. The Las Vegas Raiders may be committed to him, but at the right price, he could become the centerpiece of the Eagles' defensive line. Coming off a season where he recorded 10.0 sacks and 53 pressures, Crosby is considered to have had a down year, yet those numbers still paint the picture of a player who can change games. He's only 28 years old, which means he has plenty of prime years left to contribute in a significant way. And then there's Myles Garrett, an elite player that the Eagles would undoubtedly consider sacrificing multiple first-round picks to acquire. Garrett's impact on the field is undeniable. He's coming off an astounding season, with an NFL record 23.0 sacks, 84 pressures, and a 17.5% pressure rate. At 30, he has not only maintained, but elevated his performance, earning 5 first-team All-Pro selections in the last 6 seasons. The Eagles, in their championship window, should absolutely be making inquiries to the Cleveland Browns regarding Garrett's availability. The potential to add a transcendent pass rusher of his caliber could be the difference between a deep playoff run and falling short once again. As the Eagles navigate these trade discussions, the fan base is buzzing with anticipation. There's a palpable hope that the front office can pull off one of these moves to bolster the defense. The stakes are high, and the pressure is on. The Eagles must act decisively to ensure they have the firepower necessary to compete at the highest level. With options on the table, the front office has a critical decision to make as they look to solidify their pass rush. Will they opt for Greenid as a promising addition, or aim for the stars with Crosby or even Garrett? The fate of the season may well hinge on these choices as the Eagles continue to build a roster capable of bringing home another championship. As we transition from this critical look at the Eagles' pass rush strategy, let's delve into what other moves the team might consider as they enhance their roster for the upcoming season. As we dive into the final segment of today's coverage, let's dissect the Philadelphia Eagles' latest move that could redefine their defensive strategy for the upcoming season. The signing of Arnold Ebiketie may not have set off alarm bells across the league, but it represents a critical pivot in the Eagles' approach to building depth in their pass rushing unit. Securing Ebiketie on a 1-year deal worth up to $7.3 million, the Eagles have enhanced their defensive arsenal alongside promising talents like Nolan Smith and Jalix Hunt. It's a strategic necessity, particularly after the disappointing inability to re-sign Jaelan Phillips, which left a gaping hole at the pass rusher position on the first day of free agency. Admittedly, the Eagles' pursuit of a top-tier pass rusher has faced setbacks, with Azeez Ojulari and Josh Uche no longer options and Brandon Graham still deliberating on his future, the Eagles found themselves in desperate need of reinforcements. The reality is stark. Without a solidified pass-rushing strategy, Vic Fangio's defensive scheme could struggle to find its footing. Ebiketie, while not a household name, provides the much-needed depth that this unit craved after the departure of Phillips. However, let's not sugarcoat the situation. Ebiketie's underwhelming performance with the Atlanta Falcons leaves room for skepticism. With only 2.0 sacks across 370 pass-rushing snaps last season, his numbers do raise eyebrows. Yes, a pressure rate of 14.5% is commendable, but it's worth remembering that he was utilized as a rotational player in Atlanta, which raises questions about whether he can step up to a more prominent role here in Philadelphia. Despite these concerns, the truth is that Ebiketie presents a clear upgrade over both Ojulari, who barely saw the field during his time with the Eagles, and Uche, who simply couldn't carve out a role after the team traded for Phillips. In a league where numbers tell a story, Ebiketie's metrics, while disappointing relative to expectations, could still deliver value in a rotational capacity. The Eagles are banking on him becoming a productive piece of the puzzle, especially as they look towards the draft for potential reinforcements. What excites me about this signing is Ebiketie's enthusiasm for Fangio's defensive philosophy. He recognizes the Eagles' reputation for defensive prowess and is eager to contribute. As he stated, over the past couple of years, we know the Eagles have been notorious for having a great defense. I feel like that's something I always want to be a part of. It's this mentality that could make all the difference. If he can harness his skills and adapt to the demands of Fangio's system, we could see him thrive in a way that he didn't in Atlanta. With an impressive 6.0 sacks and a 17.2% pressure rate as a rotational player last season, Ebiketie has shown flashes of potential that could blossom in the right environment. The Eagles are undoubtedly optimistic that he can replicate or even surpass those numbers. His high motor and ability to make plays on third downs will be pivotal as he aims to carve out a significant role in this talented pass-rushing group. In the grand scheme, signing Ebiketie is more than just a move to fill a gap. It's a calculated decision that reflects the Eagles' commitment to enhancing their defensive line. The organization has allocated resources effectively to shore up the third and fourth pass rusher positions, and finding a talent like Ebiketie could prove to be a savvy acquisition. As we look ahead, it wouldn't be surprising to see the 27-year-old Ebiketie extend his stay in Philadelphia beyond this season. If he performs well, not only will he solidify his place in this defense, but he could also become an integral part of the Eagles' long-term plans. As fans, we must remain hopeful but vigilant. The Eagles are making strides, and while this signing may not have the glitz of some blockbuster moves, it could turn out to be a gem in the rough. What do you think about this acquisition? Will Ebiketie rise to the occasion, or will he be another player lost in the shuffle? Share your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe for the latest updates on our beloved Philadelphia Eagles.